Hello YouTube. Today's video presentation is going to cover the Utach Custom Gun Stock for the Mosin-Nagant bolt action rifle, which was a custom project that I was working on. I did team up with beararms.com and spoke to Carlo Legoretta, who was graciously able to do some modifications to this particular stock. So I wanted to cover that today. And in today's presentation, this is the stock that I'm referring to. I did remove the action for the purposes of getting this actually refitted to fit the action. There was some modifications to the stock itself, primarily because of the fact that I was using the JMECK Scope Mount system, which is a see-through scope mount, which in this particular case will wrap around the action or the receiver of the weapon. Now what we did as a result, or rather what he did, was he actually form fitted, as you can see here, to the round receiver, which is what we have on the rifle that I'm using, the actual form as we have here. So this becomes an exact fit. The alignment was set, so it is always centered. In this particular case, he also made sure that the action was not impeded in any form or fashion, especially here, as he did take the time to further remove and then refinish to free float the stock, as it was not free floated previously as I thought it was, because the action was not sitting in there correctly. But we also took it a step further. Besides bedding, which he did, of course, he also removed the material, the channel that the JMECK system actually requires for the band to actually sit correctly here, as you can see, as if it was fully assembled. And what we also did is we went ahead and put bedding pillars here as well as here. Okay, so you can see towards the bottom, what this bedding pillars will actually do is create that level position of the action, so it's not really sitting on the stock itself. The whole rifle assembly is not really sitting on the stock itself, and it is actually centered, allowing the free float of the barrel, as well as allowing the JMECK system to correctly work in conjunction with the correct alignment with the barrel. Now, because of the variation in some of these weapons, you're going to have that. But when you use a scope, that's the beauty of using a scope mount system, is that now you're aligning the line of sight of the actual barrel in conjunction with the scope. So a lot of people would like to do is remove the rear leaf springs system for the to set an actual scope mount, such as an S&K or something similar along those lines, which sits here, whereas I'm actually using the JMECK scope system without removing the rear sights. Now with this particular custom gun stock, it was, in a general sense, it had been form fitted without any additional modifications, but because this is a custom project, and because I was using a band system to mount the scope, ultimately that changed the configuration. So those one of those things that you have to keep in mind when you do a custom job such as this, that you are going to encounter with some inletting issues. And of course, JMECK was gracious to provide detailed instructions on how to set their scope mount, primarily in the original Mosin stock system, which is good, but because we're taking it to a different standard, in this particular case a walnut standard stock, then that actually makes it a little bit more involved. Not complicated, but just a little bit more involved. And so what I did was, to make sure, since the band itself does not act as a shim, as he clearly points out JMECK does, I went ahead and just had this bedded. And then of course Carlo was generous to provide the bedding pillars in there, cut them and fit them accordingly, so therefore it provides additional accuracy. Now I know I've mentioned that I was going to go ahead and do a follow-up video, and this is one of the things that I've had delays in getting a performance video of how this particular stock, as well as the other bench rest stock that he did on behalf of Bear Arms, And I'm going to go ahead and do the videos to cover the performance of this particular weapon as well as the other bench rest stock, which I want to show the progression of it in different stages. I've had some people comment they want to see something of along the lines of a 300 yard plus capability of this particular rifle. So keep in mind this is a standard M9130 that I'm going to be using here, whereas the bench rest stock has an M38, which is a carbine version. However, I would not really see an issue down the line should accuracy be impacted beyond 200 yards. We may be pushing 300, but then again, we may actually have some benefits because the other stock is also bedded as well. We did not take it to the point of putting the pillars in, but what he did do along the tang area is he actually put a shim along here and to reinforce, and of course we also have the bedding as you see here. So it's essentially the same configuration, the same setup in the end for accuracy, bedded up top on the upper part, and in this particular case he did not do any type of bedding towards the bottom because the pillars compensated for that towards the bottom and all the way through, which is a good thing. Now the bedding pillars I did get through Rock Solid Industries, and I paid $10 for those, and then I went ahead and got their steel hex screws, which we have here in the little bag, and those ran for $12. So that is actually going to provide a much more stable platform for this rifle, and obviously improve the accuracy. I have still not fired this weapon on this particular stock because again I wanted to make sure that I did turn it into a much more accurized weapon than what I expected to be, and if not, then it was just simply a fun project and it's going to be just a simple shooter, nothing for competition or anything along those lines, but it's going to provide an avenue simply as a showpiece. But if the performance is there, then it's obviously going to show. So I just wanted to show what I have been doing with this project. Some comments have been raised as to what's going on with it, and it's just simply I'm still upgrading this particular stock, and it's still the same Utah Custom stock as you've seen in the other video. Nothing else has been done to it other than the bedding, the reforming of the inletting for the purposes of what I have just mentioned. But overall, I'm quite happy with it. I'm glad that I did pair up with him. And as you can see, once again, it is form fitted for the purposes of the JMECK See-Thru Scope Mount. It is a high rise, so it does allow you to use the iron sights, which is one of the nice things. Or of course, with this particular system, it allows you to go scout sniper configuration if you use a long eye relief or leer type setup. But I'm just going to go with the traditional rifle setup, and just to see. And like I said, it's going to be something along the showpiece, but I still want to be able to have some kind of accuracy out of it, and just out of respect to the rifle, just wanted to present that to you as a progress report. If you have any comments or any questions, please feel free to contact me. I will go ahead and include the websites of the vendors that I've used in conjunction with this particular upgrade and modification to this particular stock, but we'll have some video. So this is an ongoing project, so please bear with me. I appreciate those who have subscribed to my channel, and please by all means stay tuned as more things are to come. And I'm planning to still review the Tula sniper grade rifle that I did acquire back in January, as well as I'm going to go ahead and do a review on the S&K scope mount for the M38 M44 series, and I'll do a video for that here shortly. Definitely stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and have a great time.